Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Rene Seichi, once again here representing the MegaGamingStore.com, the best place to buy your video games online, and today we are taking a look at a PlayStation Portable game that was a port of a PlayStation 2 game, known as Persona 3, with the port being known as Persona 3 Portable. We're going to be focusing mainly on the port today, because the graphics are different and it doesn't have the extra story that FPS does.
Okay, we're going to start off this review by talking about the story. One of the main differences between Persona 3 Portable and Persona 3 is that you can choose to play as a male or female character. Choosing the male character will keep pretty much everything the same, story-wise, whereas choosing the female character will change the characters you can meet and the interactions you have with your old characters. However, the core concept still remains. Your job is to hunt shadows while still attending and doing well in school. This leads to some very interesting gameplay aspects, but we'll get into those in a bit. During the course of the story, you gain a power known as Persona, which you can use to fight shadows, a being that is causing trouble in Tatsuhime Port City. To do this, you must venture to Tartarus, the lair of the shadows, which only appears during the dark hour, an hour hidden between one day and the next. By climbing Tartarus, you hope to find the cause of the dark hour and to stop it, because humans are being attacked by shadows during the dark hour. However, it is an hour normal humans can't see. You can only see it because you have gained the power of Persona. With the addition of Tartarus, it basically splits the gameplay up into two different segments, the social segment and the Tartarus segment. We'll first focus on the social aspect. As I said earlier, you go to school, just like any normal person, and interact with fellow classmates, teachers, just random people on the streets, and in doing so, you power up your personas with something called social links. Early on, you learn that you have the power to fuse your personas together to create a new persona, which is made more powerful by making your social links stronger. Thus, the game basically becomes a balancing act between your school life and interacting with friends, and the other aspect, which is to go to Tartarus and fight the shadows. You are given one in-game year to solve the mystery of the Dark Hour and take down Tartarus. However, because of that, Tartarus becomes your game-long goal. It is 250 floors tall, and certain areas of the tower are blocked off until you reach a certain point in the game. A full moon. Every full moon, a new boss shows up, and once you have defeated them, a new section of the tower will be opened up to you. Once you have begun to climb Tartarus and encounter a shadow, the game becomes the core RPG turn-based game, like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. You have your basic commands such as attacking, magic, and also the ability to switch personas in mid-battle. However, you're the only one who can do that. The ability to carry and fuse multiple personas at one time is what makes the main character unique. In battle, you have four elements to choose from: fire, wind, as seen here, ice, and lightning. Hitting an enemy with its weak element will cause it to be stunned and give you one more attack. If you stun all of the enemies, you have a chance to band your party members together and perform an all-out attack for massive damage on all of the enemies. Basic attacks are also split up into 3 more different categories: slashing, piercing, and strike. The main character will always use a slashing weapon, such as a sword for the male and a Japanese spear known as a naginata for the girl. Weapons such as bows and guns are piercing type weapons, whereas strike weapons are fists and axes. Now, before we go any deeper, let's talk about the ratings so far. For story, I would easily give it a 10 out of 10. Even though it sounds like your basic RPG where you just go in and slay monsters until you have completed your quest, it becomes a lot more complicated than that, and even touches on different elements such as death and coping with it. For the gameplay, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. One of the problems that persisted in the original Persona 3 was that you couldn't control your other characters, and that you would get tired in the middle of exploring Tartarus, which would hurt your accuracy. Neither of these things are a factor in Persona 3 Portal. Now for the graphics, because this is a PlayStation Portable game, I'm going to be a little lenient with it, because it of course can't achieve the graphical capabilities that the PlayStation 2 has. However, I'm also keeping in mind that the characters look a lot less smooth, and in the original game, you would have animated cutscenes, whereas in this game you would only get the screenshots from them. However, the original art for the Personas still looks crisp and clean, as well as the fact that none of the impact is lost with the lesser graphics. Therefore, I am giving it an 8 out of 10. The music up until now was composed by Mr. Shoji Meguro, who is also known for composing the anime series known as Bleach. He remains my favorite video game music composer, along with Yoko Shimomura and Nobuo Uematsu, who did Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy respectively. Meguro does a masterful job of evoking the correct emotions at the correct times. And of course, it would be almost criminal not to give the music of this game a 10 out of 10. Now, for replayability, you play the game twice, basically. Once as the male and once as the female. Once you've done that, you're pretty satisfied. So, for that reason, I'm going to give the replayability a 7 out of 10.
Really quick, I also forgot to mention that the music also changes between the male and female character for certain battle scenes and exploring Tatsuhime. However, that brings us to the end of the review, and overall, I would give this game, after weighing everything and averaging everything out, a 9 out of 10. Easily one of the best RPGs I have ever played. And I would recommend it for anyone who enjoys, well, if you've ever played Persona 4, because I've heard some people say that they've played that before Persona 3. I would say get Persona 3 Portable instead of Persona 3 FES, because the gameplay in Persona 3 Portable is similar to Persona 4, more so than it is Persona 3. And of course, I would also recommend this game to anyone who enjoys Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest or any real Japanese RPG series. And that'll do it. I am Seichi for the MegaGamingStore.com. Be sure to check out next month when I review Final Fantasy XIII-2 for the PlayStation 3. And I guess it was released on Xbox too, but I played the PlayStation 3 too. As always, this game, Final Fantasy XIII-2, and many others are sold on the MegaGamingStore.com. And be sure to check out my Let's Play along with CPS 4 Kohei on Persona 3 FES on my alternate YouTube channel, which will probably be right about here in an annotation link. So, I have been Seichi, and until next time, later guys.